Hello, everybody. All right, so jumping right in, when you look at ODOT's mission statements, you don't see anything about habitat conservation. What you will see, though, is that we pledge to take care of what we have. And by doing habitat conservation, it's actually freeing us up to do just that. So Ohio has the fourth largest interstate system in the country, the second largest inventory of bridges, and we have the sixth highest number of vehicle miles traveled in the country. We manage 19,000 miles of roadsides, which is the equivalent of 6 one-way trips from New York to Los Angeles. And because of our central location, we're within 1 day's drive of 60% of the U.S. and Canadian populations. So everything we do as a department is focused on the center of the road out, and that leaves very little time for roadside vegetation management. So considering that, why does ODOT care about habitat? So first of all, and I was alluding to this earlier, we saved $2.2 million just last year in mowing reduction through conservation mowing. Opportunity cost, that's all the time and materials and labor and equipment that we had managing our roadside. We can now focus on the center of the road out. Agriculture is Ohio's largest industry, worth $105 billion each year. So pollinators obviously help our economy. It allows us to be good stewards of the environment and also partner with lots of different groups, conservation groups, municipalities, corporations, lots of different people, and that also earns quite a bit of favorable media for us. So we've been busy over the last 2 years establishing high-value pollinator habitats on our roadsides. We have 1,200 acres in development, 120 different locations, and we are diversifying. We do pollinator habitat projects at closed and open rest areas, brownfields, ODOT garages, any number of opportunities for us to establish habitat. We have projects in 57 of our 88 counties, and we hope to have at least one project in all 88 counties by 2022. So I'm going to sit here for a minute and let you soak this in. For the most part, we have very successful sites. Most of these here are in their second year. There's a couple of exceptions. So we have lots of nice blooms out there. As I said, the public loves it. But sometimes we need a little bit of help. So anytime you roll out any kind of a new initiative at ODOT, you better be prepared to answer the question, who's going to do the work? And this pollinator habitat program is no exception. Just like any ODOT project, we'll always use our own crews and our own equipment first. Whenever possible, we enter into these public-private partnerships. And just in the last year, we've partnered with Honda, Scott's Miracle-Gro, and a number of municipalities and conservation groups. But as a last resort, when we have to, we'll partner with, we'll hire contractors to ensure that our deadlines are all met. So in 2018, after Mike Redder and I had been out selling this program, getting all the local garages excited, we had a number of projects lined up that we needed to get sprayed. So we headed out, we had 18 counties we had to do, and we had an early frost. So that kind of put a wrench in our plans, and so we had to delay a lot of our larger acre projects until this year, so we lost a full year. And we also noticed that we could have done a better job coordinating between our spray crew and our county managers. We surprised a few of our county managers by having crews out there doing work, and they ended up getting shut down, so that was a whole day of mobilization loss. So we kind of licked our wounds and moved forward. We had a plan for winter seeding. We had, six sites out in or 6 counties out there that we had to go seed. And the new administration was settling in place after the fall election. And I got a phone call and said that we had to realign our resources. And all of you know what that means. We had to find another way to get all these deadlines met. So we realized, given the short spray season and the short planting season, we needed to look for some help. So this past spring, we hired 2 contractors, one in the north and one in the west, to help us meet all of those milestones. The green counties are our own forces, and the white counties, if you can't see in the back, there are no projects currently. So, obviously at this point we know with 1,200 acres, 120 different sites, and that's just where we are right now. We plan on doing 125 additional acres each year. We know that we've grown way beyond our capacity to do this work in-house. So we currently have a bid open for a statewide multiple award green contract that closes tomorrow. And the contractors are submitting just a lump sum per acre bid. And I'll show you some maps here in a little bit that highlight the different areas that we're going to be in. The contract is for 4 tasks. So we have this fall, we have herbicide application, site preparation, dormant seeding this winter, and in the spring we have a spray task and then also drilling. So this fall, these are the counties that we have set aside for site preparation. Just like the former contracts, we'll provide all the herbicide and the seed and the bulking agents for these projects. You'll notice the fall herbicide applications, the short window that we have is September 15th through November 15th. And ODOT crews and public-private partners are not shown on this map just because I wanted to stand out and be a little more clear. So this winter, these are the sites that we're going to dormant seed. Again, we're going to provide the seed for this, and they need to have this done between December 1 and March 31st. And then in the springtime, same thing. This is going to be site preparation and seeding. So at this point, we feel like we're pretty well covered. When we get all these sites sprayed and planted, we should be caught up. As I said, we have 125 acres that we agreed to do every year going forward. So we're taking a look now. We do stand evaluations on each of our sites, and we're taking a look this winter at the stand evaluations to see how the sites are performing and whether or not we also need to have help from green contractors managing those sites. So I'll be available for questions. I'm going to turn it back over to Iris at this point. Thank you all.
Great, thanks, Joel. We're also going to now have a second case study from Ohio. Tim Lohner from American Electric Power. Thought this would be, again, a nice way to feature some of our Ohio partners in Ohio, and then we'll move into our panel. And we may just bring Tim and Joel up, help make the questions to the panel if needed. Tim Lohner is a consulting environmental specialist at American Electric Power and has previously worked at Dominion Resources, Ohio EPA, and the Cincinnati Gas and Electric Company. He currently addresses issues involving the regulation of water resources, environmental stewardship, sustainability reporting, and vegetation management for biodiversity. And as I said before, he's on our steering committee for the Rights Based Habitat Working Group, as well as the advisory team for the CCAA. So,
Well, thank you, Iris. I'm going to start out with a little show and tell here. First of all, the reason we're all here, how hard can it be to go from a bag of this, right? All SQ, Kentucky 31, Kentucky Bluegrass, putting in a bag of seeds like this. You would think it'd be so easy. Just put it into the broadcaster and away you go. But it's not that easy, right? It's new, it's different, it makes people uncomfortable, unsure. It raises a lot of questions, and that's why we're all here to talk about these challenges and come up with solutions to some of these problems. So think as an industry, with AEP, there's a lot of other utilities here. We want our right-of-ways to look like this here. This is a demonstration site that we have in Newark, Ohio, just east of Columbus. So what I'm going to do is just explain with a challenge for us to put in this native vegetation right on our right of way. So we're doing more and more studies. A lot of you in the room, Joel showed you his work with the DOT. A lot of other companies are doing research, doing pilot studies. AP is doing so as well. So we have a picture here is a site visit to the Dawes Arboretum, like I said, in Newark. This is a study that myself and my colleague, Amy Toohey, right here to help do this. She actually orchestrated this site visit for us, along with the Electric Power Research Institute with Ashley Bennett's help. What we're doing is a 5-year study. Can we replicate pollinator habitat under a right-of-way and measure the function of that habitat and replicate it? So we're monitoring over the next 5 years. We're in the 3rd year of a 5-year study, looking at the number of bees, the number of butterflies, the number of birds, the performance of the vegetation. The key to this study is ongoing. We have ag sites, we have forest sites, and we pretty much put this together like we would during a construction project on a right-of-way. We can took it down to bare earth, broadcast the seeds, and try to simulate right-of-way construction conditions as much as possible. So another project we have ongoing is at our transmission campus near New Albany, Ohio, which is just a little bit northeast of Columbus. And here we've installed 1.5-acre demonstration plots. So this took a while. It took us 3 years just to get this far. We planted this this June, mid-June. You can see we have 8 plots. We got a bird mix, a deer mix, turkey mix, pollinator mix, solar mix, a couple right-of-way mixes we're going to try. One will be highly seeded, one will be broadcasted, and a turf control mix. And we have an asphalt walkway going through the area. We have some mowed grass pathways. And the thought behind this project is if you have a customer that you're working with, and there's a right-of-way that goes through their property, and they want something special on that right-of-way, we can show them what we can do. Or if you have stakeholders or business groups who want to know what is AEP doing about right-of-way habitat, what are we doing about pollinators and biodiversity? And this site out here will allow us to show them some examples. This wasn't easy either. Just imagine getting a few people in the room to agree on a seed mix. It's not easy. I'm sure a lot of you have had that same challenge. To their credit, though, we worked with some groups that gave up their time. We worked with the Audubon Society, as well as Arboretum, Fish and Wildlife Service, Turkey Federation, Pheasants Forever, Mike Redder. I know he's here. A lot of input. I know Mike came out to the site a couple of times to get their input to put these seed mixes together. So we took a chance. We planted in mid-June this summer. And we hedged our bets a little bit. We tilled the site. We've got that green slush. We treated with an herbicide, knocked that out, and we scarified the site. We broadcasted the seeds, and we put in the mulch. You can see there's a brand new transmission building in the background. So we put out the mulch and stuff, and then we waited, right? Some parts of town in Columbus, it didn't rain for like the next month and a half. It was really hot and dry. On this side of town, we got good rain. Things worked out pretty well. We went from that to this by the end of August. So we just did our first mow, prairie mow, just at the end of last month. Some of the plots are doing really well. This is our turkey plot here. We've got partridge pea, deer tongue, white clover, some rye. It's something good for the turkeys, and it worked out really well. We got good coverage. And that's another important piece here, and I'll get to that in a minute. You have to meet our erosion control requirements on construction projects. So we did that here. Pheasants Forever guys, Joel, Mike, Jason. Like this, it's mostly clovers, so it's working out real well. By doing the mow, we really can release those plants and get a lot of good growth there. So our pollinator plot's going to take a while. We had a stray coreopsis coming in here and there. Again, we had some partridge peas. We looked real close. I know we got a lot of black-eyed Susans and some other forbs coming in. We had to do the mow. You can see a little bit of ragweed. We had a lot of barnyard grass, fox, and tail lice. That's normal in applications like this. So we're real excited about this. We have something to show. But with this, like I said, we have a lot of challenges on these kinds of projects. The third study I want to mention, and again, working with Amy Toohey and Peppery, designing seed mixes, regionalized native seed mixes to use on right-of-way projects, different parts of the country. ADP is a very large company with 11 different states around Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, we're in Michigan, Ohio. Indiana, Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, and all these places. We really wouldn't want to be planting this stuff everywhere. It's not going to perform the same way in all places. So it's challenging. We need to make a business case to do this. The business case is if you can get good native grasses and forests growing, get that big vegetation layer growing, you can inhibit the reestablishment of trees on construction sites. If you can just avoid one herbicide treatment, avoid one tree trimming over a 5 to 10 year cycle, it'll all pay for itself and all be worthwhile. And other utilities and other groups are doing this. In Exelon, I talked to one of their group folks. The idea is we had a tree problem, we're going to put in native grasses. So it's just in its infancy. We're in the pilot study phase here. So reduced vegetation management, less fire risk. Out west, maybe a right of way could be a fire break instead of an avenue for fire, wildfires. Improved safety. Fewer boots on the ground. I don't have to treat with herbicides. I don't have to mow as often. I have fewer workers on the ground, spraying, spraying, and all that. Reduced. Regulatory facilitation. We're building trust with our customers. Back to the demonstration site. Talk about regulatory facilitation as well. The CCAA, with the monarch work we're doing. We get few pollinators, few boards in these seed mixes, all the better. That can be sometimes monarch habitat. We do a lot of sustainability reporting. A lot of investor groups want to know how are you managing for biodiversity, how are you managing for pollinators. We have good seed mixes that support these situations, all the better we can report that acreage. Stewardship goes without saying, and social license. That if I build this trust, I get the benefit of the data. I'm going to put it right away in your neighborhood or near your property. If I say I'm going to do something special, I really will, and you can trust me to do that because I've done it before. So the idea is to reverse engineer this. What this is some photos of tree plantations that have the exact opposite problem. They're trying to get trees to grow, but they have a problem with native grasses and forests. What do? They treat with herbicides, see on the left, where they do a lot of mowing. We're trying to reverse engineer this. So it's called plantation release, to release the trees. Well, to keep trees out on the plantation, it should be able to keep trees out on the right of way. And that's what we're trying to do here. So the challenge is, like I said, why is it so hard? Amy and myself and others at AEP have been working on this for a couple of years. The seed mix study is a 3-year study, pilot study. We're going to plant these seed mixes. We'll monitor them over the next 3 years with Help and Pheasants Forever. Cards is helping us put the seed mixes together. Forestry managers have legitimate concerns. They're afraid if we put boards on the property, if I put something out there that's going to attract butterflies, will they still be allowed to use herbicides? Will they still be allowed to trim the trees? And the answer is yes, but they have legitimate questions. We're trying to design these things that have some milestone tolerance, herbicide tolerance, things like that. Erosion control requirements have to be met. The construction sites. We talked about stewardship, marine contractors, but it's a business. We have a business case. We need that 70% designated coverage as quickly as possible. It's something that, put these mixes together in a combination with warm season, cool season grasses, quick termination. Property owner concerns. One of the big challenges on the monarch CCAA is concerns from the Farm Bureau. Nobody's a weed to them. They don't want to see it on near their properties. And a lot of these native grasses, those are weeds. They're concerned. They don't want that. The cost. A lot of seed suppliers are charging a premium for these things. That's not going to work. There might be some solutions to that, right? If we establish these seed mixes and know we're going to be using them with some frequency, maybe we can source our seed, some kind of guarantee, and in the future we'll buy so much. I'm sure as an industry, as all our organizations start doing more and more of that, I think the seed suppliers will start to change what they're doing with the product. But saying that, availability and substitutes always become a problem. They're growing seeds, they have climate issues, weather issues, etc. It's tough. You can put together the most brilliant seed mix in the world. If you go and shop that around, get pricing. Well, I don't have that, or I don't have this. Can you try this? But we just spent $250,000 to develop these seed mixes, and now I got to change it. It's very frustrating. Contractor performance and guarantees. It's pretty easy to get a guarantee in your contract for the Kentucky bluegrass and fall fescue. It's really hard to get a guarantee for the native vegetation, the native seed mixes right now. That's a challenge for us. And vegetation performance, like I said before, not only does we have to get the erosion control, it's got to do what we're paying for. We want to see those flowers, we want to see those forests, we want to see that long term. Also, we want to see the trees, make sure they're not there. So incentives, I got a really short list here. You know, that's what I'm hoping to inspire some ideas from you, inspire some thinking. How can we solve these problems, come up with solutions? Like I said, on the seed availability, maybe we can work with seed purchase agreements, which we need in the future. And we can provide endorsements. I know Irish had a slide up there showing seed suppliers with a map. I know there's testing done for a lot of the seed suppliers, even down to the ag folks. When we put the straw mulch on our site, our demonstration site, I was talking to the guy who supplies the straw. He won't even put a cover crop down unless he sees the pest on it, because he doesn't want to spread weeds all over his crop. I got a question mark. Maybe there's other regulatory incentives. We're talking about the monarch butterfly. There's other insects that may be listed on the endangered species list, and we can create other habitats and we can get credit for those. Think about the sustainability reporting. Think about your investor relations with people like that. So I'm hoping by the end of this week, well, not week, for some of us, it'll be the whole week, we can fill out this list with some solutions and share this with